Good morning. My name is Jennifer Tom,
And I'm Darlene Rempel.
and it's Grief Talk. It is Wednesday. I am so excited to be here. I'm always excited to be here on Grief Talk. We love this so much. We love the work we do. And please remember, Grief Cafe is where we actually meet up for coffee every Wednesday at 10:15. We enjoy our coffee and we share about lessons learned through life and loss. And today's topic is actually it's a question, and would love to hear your comments. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. Can you grieve? Can you grieve and grow at the same time? That is big. Grieve and grow at the same time. Let's just take a minute and think about that. Can you grieve and grow at the same time? Can we have coffee at the same time?
Can we talk and have
Right?
No.
Right? I think Darlene has an answer for us as we start. And before we start discussing that, I just want to say thank you so much to our friends, our family who are sharing our information. Thank you for the comments. And actually, this question was asked by one of our friends online. Can you grieve and grow at the same time? And I'm like, oh, that's the topic, because every month we have a theme, and our theme for this month is growth. And somebody said, ask us this question, and I just want to say thank you so much for asking that question, because this makes us learn, all of us, right? Like we learn from each other, we grow and share. So that's the topic today. We are answering one of your questions. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, please just DM us, send us a message, send us an email, and or check out also our website and connect with us. So that's what we're doing today. Can we grieve and grow at the same time? Darling, let's go.
I think that's a really good question, because I think when a life event happens, when a loss happens, we go into grief right away. And we have kind of a roadmap. Maybe I'll just show you the roadmap that we have on our website. But if you can see on the screen, we come through life and all of a sudden something happens, a life event happens. So it can be a death, diagnosis, loss of a job. And as soon as this happens, we go into grief. And these are based on the stages, but it's also on just what happens in grief. And usually what happens in grief is we're kind of in a fog. We can stop eating, our sleep gets disturbed, and we have this roller coaster of emotions. And some of these are the roller coaster of emotions that we have. And so when we have a life event, we start grieving. All of a sudden, we go through ups and downs, right? We have to start figuring out. We have huge emotions. So some emotions we want to do one thing, and next emotion, right? We miss the person. Next emotion, where we can have relief. We can be going up and down, and in this period right here, this is where the adjustment to the primary and second losses. This is where we can make a choice about how we're going to grieve and if we're going to grow. I think growth is about a choice. Would you not say? So whatever life is happening, again with our grief recovery method, recovery is made by small and correct choices.
Yes.
So when we're having all these experiences, all these emotions, what choices we make in this area will determine where if we grow or if we don't grow, and we can actually spiral downward too.
I love that so much. I love this roadmap, Darlene. Thank you for sharing. And you're right. Like, so life things, like remember, we'll all experience more than 40 losses in our lives. And so life will happen. So we're coping, and then we go down. And it looks very funky. I don't like being there. I have been there where it's up and down. And to get out of there, we need some growth. We need, I see that as growing, right? Like to how do we get out of there? That's where growth happens. And as we share the roadmap, I just want us to think about why and I have been there sometime in my life, why do we get stuck where we don't grow? Because it does happen. And I have, from my own personal experience, I have a few things that I'm going to share. So why we get there and we feel that's where we need to be. Number one, we get discouraged, right? Because we'll get in that place we don't like, and sometimes we don't want to. It's not that we choose not to grow. It's not that we choose not to grow, but we are discouraged because, and you feel I'm tired and I'm discouraged, and I have been here before, and I haven't been able to get out of there. And most times, it's because if we don't have the tools, then we are discouraged. Or if we get the wrong tools, right? And what excites me about what we do is that we focus, Stronger Life Connection focuses on giving us the right tools to get out of that funk. Can we call it a funk? Is funk a word? Right? So we're discouraged. So we just want to encourage you. If you're there and you're discouraged and you, for some reason, you feel stuck and you're discouraged, please connect with us. Because we believe you can actually grieve and grow. We can grow from there.
We can. And again, it's those small, correct choices, right? It doesn't happen overnight. But when we have the tools that can help us work through this loss and actually work through the loss. So some of the reasons we don't grow is because we adapt coping mechanisms that don't help us deal with our grief. And so if we're not dealing with the grief, sometimes we're just dealing with the symptoms. Sometimes then we make decisions, and we often then don't come out of we don't grow. We actually can go down in our coping. And so I like what you said about tools. When we have those right tools, we can grow. We can grow with our
Yes, I love this format. I feel like I need to print this and just put on my wall to just have it, because as you know how you can look at something, let's say it's a picture of this roadmap. If a life event happens and I remind myself, okay, I'm here, I'm down here, and I need to grow, because we know we can grieve and grow. So I want to just talk more about the other reason we get stuck in that funk. That's when you word is that disbelief in self. So personally, going through losses in my life, there's a time where I felt I don't know how I'm gonna grow on this, right? The disbelief where we feel unworthy, we feel I have no words now, and help me. I just know disbelief is so, all of us at some point of our lives, we have that disbelief in self where we feel, you know what, let me just sit in my funk. I'm just going to stay here. I'm just going to stay here and not do anything and do all the things that I shouldn't be doing, like, for example, eating too many donuts because I don't feel good. That's but do you have something to add on that?
I think that's a huge issue. It's a huge challenge, because we can actually even have those tools in our backpack, right? We can actually know what we need to do, but if we don't believe we can do them, then we won't do them. And so kind of our measure, right? And we can look around and see they work for everybody else, but will they work for me? Have I in the past been able to use those tools? And do I have a belief in them myself about it? That's a huge discouragement. So what's your answer? How have you got out of your discouragement, Jen?
That's a good question. I joined Stronger Life Connections. It's connecting with people and hearing other people's stories and being honest with my own feelings, being honest with a friend, finding that person that you can be honest with. Because most times we feel nobody understands. I love what Brandon Bachard says. If you think out of 7 billion, nobody understands, somebody has gone through what you're going through. Even though we're not taking it light, somebody has gone through, so somebody somewhere is going to understand. And the key is to find that safe person that you can share, and you realize you're not alone, and you're not alone, and yes, you can grieve and grow.
And that's the power of groups, right? Again, grief, we tend to isolate and think we're the only ones who are feeling this. So I think one of the most powerful things about coming into a group is hearing other people's stories and knowing that it doesn't matter what happened, grief, we all deal with grief, right? We all have to go through grief, and it looks different for everyone, but at the same time, we all have losses. I love that. 100% of us are grievers. We've all lost something. And so when we can start sharing, again, honestly, in a safe place, sharing some of our losses and having somebody hear those losses, it's a tremendous, it just is a way through that connection that then we have the courage sometimes to grow. We have the courage to believe in ourselves, to take that one small step that that will lead us on the path. I love the spiral, and we've shown the spiral before.
Yeah.
As we spiral down, right, to get back up, we just need to take one correct choice. We need to just spiral back up. And I think that's what being in a group, it takes so much courage, right?
Yes.
To come to a group and to share, or even go to one-on-one counseling, right? One-on-one session. But once you can start sharing, and I've seen it over and over, and I've done it in my life, once you can share once, it will make a huge difference in sorting out that stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, I love that so much. Thank you, darling. That's powerful. The last one I find that we get stuck, and you just mentioned it, the isolation is a huge one. And I find sometimes we isolate because isolation actually even brings some kind of division, because you feel like nobody understands and you're lost. It's like comparing losses and thinking, you're lost, you don't get it, right? You don't know what I'm going through. And that creates division, and then it becomes something like it's you versus instead of us. You're isolating it, you're taking it all by yourself. And I have learned, this is actually very interesting. Anytime we think of division, or those people, or they do this, or they grieve like this, and they do this, all this division that has been created in the world, it actually affects how we grieve, and it affects our connection with others. So it doesn't matter what culture you're from. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're in this world, you're going to experience grief. So this division of, they do this, that's how they do it. And they don't, that just divides us and makes us to lose that connection. That should be a theme by itself, because I'm trying to put a point here, but it's not coming out very well. It must be too early. But I hope I hope our friends get it, that it goes full circle. Instead of division, we can love each other and not think we are better or less or whatever. All those things that we do, we all do. If we put them aside and connect with each other from the hurt, because we are all grievers, it takes us out from that funk, right? And then we're able to grow. For some reason, it's so deep in me, in my own life, because I want more connection, and because that's the connection with people and my friends and people I love is what has helped me grow through my grieving. And I hope this can encourage somebody that you're not alone, and you're not. No, somebody has gone through what you're going through, and yes, we can grieve and grow, as hard as it is, right? So we've got so much to share. We love Grief Talk. We love the work we do. And please check our website. Connect with us. We love these conversations, right? Do you
Yeah,
have something to add there?
yeah. And we love, and just again, encouragement. If you want to grow, if we want to grow, we need connection. And so, yeah, please connect. There is resources. You can connect online with us. You can check our website out. You can join a group. You can get one-on-one help. We're going to be starting the horse groups where you can come out in summer and just enjoy and connect. And yeah, we need to just, I guess, encourage you just to connect. And that's the healing point. I think when we get hurt or the losses happen, we pull back from people. We pull back. We stop trusting. But healing comes through connection. And so the only way we can heal those hurts is to become reconnected again. And so we really encourage you, right? If you're experiencing loss, if you feel isolated, if you feel alone, reach out and just take that one step to see that one person you can talk to and trust.
That's amazing. So until I love this, I love the month of April. Our theme being growth. We are all growing, and we love the questions. So if you have any comments or more questions, please leave us a message. And next week we'll continue with our growth theme. It's the last Wednesday of the month. Seriously, I find the things go by so fast, and we love it. We're learning, we are growing with you, and we say yes. We can grieve and grow at the same time. Thank you.